Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome to the H145 Action Pack expansion, which we're previewing here, and which, to be honest, I'm pretty damn excited about. Now, the H145 is a helicopter that I bought some time ago and have played with a little bit, but I still need to get to grips with. I still need to practice with it and learn all the systems. But big thank you to High Performance Group for giving me the opportunity just to have a look at this new expansion pack, which is really bringing 5 new rescue and utility focused H145 variants to the sim. And this one that we're looking at here is the HEMS, the Helicopter Emergency Medical Services helicopter. And we're going to be doing a couple of little activities in it just to give you a taste of what it's all about. First of all, we're going to use one of the if you like, scripted missions, and then we're going to go away and have a little play and practice at some hoisting. But it's incredibly immersive. I've got to say, I have been flying this in VR as well, and it has to rank as one of the most incredible experiences I've had in a flight sim. It's just incredibly immersive and very detailed as well. For example, with this variant that we've got here, you've got the complete EMS interior with the stretcher, medical equipment and gear. You've got the 3D crew, including a doctor, the hoist operator, medic, hoist crew, the other pilot. You've got a functional hoist with different animations. You've got the high intensity searchlight, which I'll show you a little bit about later on. Different liveries, helionics integration as well. New switches and panels. Weight elements, for example, when you've got something on the hoist, that will have an effect on the flight model, and then some other bits and bobs that you can add on, like emergency floats, skis, different types of radomes at the front, and new sounds as well. And in addition to this, when this is actually finally released, which is hopefully going to be before the end of this month, which is April 2022, there's also going to be a firefighter, an offshore utility and coast guard, a civilian cargo, and a military cargo versions as well. So there's quite a lot into this, and I can see it being quite detailed. And I think one of the things that sometimes people one of the reasons why people sometimes move away from flight sims is because they don't have a reason to fly. And if there's one thing that this thing gives you, this pack, is it gives you a reason to fly. And it's just damn great fun in the process as well. So let's get flying, and we'll show you what it's all about. Okay, so here we are. The team is ready. You ready? Yeah, of course we're ready. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So let's, I want to try and keep this as brief as I can. There is an emergency going on. Our assistance is required. So I'm not going to do the full startup with all the checks, which you can do on this incredibly detailed simulation. But we're going to do the important stuff just to kind of get us into the hour. Okay, so first of all, let's get the battery on. And watch everything power up. Down here it's doing power up test, that bit in green, and when everything's good to go it will say power off test okay. There we go. I will actually just quickly show you what it's like when you do a fire check test. So we'll put those two down there, and then we should see some indications on here. And then if we do this, get the thing the right way.
Fire, engine 1, fire, engine 2, fire.
All hell breaks loose. So that's working. So that just gives you an idea of all the different bits and bobs. You can do the complete startup check. Right. We could also at this stage, we could check our voltage, which is good to go. We're looking for anything greater than 23.5, and we've got 25.3, so that's good. We could also enter in our weight computations here, which if I was doing this properly I would do, but I'm not because we need to get going. Our flight instruments are looking all good to go. Let's quickly pop up here because we're about to start doing things. We'll put our position lights on. We'll leave the others. We don't need the searchlight at the moment, which we will look at that later on. Let's get the fuel pump on, or the primers on. That's all good. And we're seeing that down here. Fuel pump, prime on. And now we are going to go to idle. Engine 1. See start here. Now we've got good indication here it's gone into idle. So let's now do the same for engine 2. That's good. Good to go. Okay, we need to do a few things up here. We need to get our statics on. We need the where is it? There it is. Those on. Standby switch to there. The LAVCS. Need to pilot. We need prime pumps off, and we need transfer pumps on. We're now going to start strobing because we're about to take off. Where else? What else do we need? Need these two on. Okay, that's all good to go. Happy with that. We'll just put our autopilot systems on. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fly us everywhere. It just means that all the systems are armed and we have some of the stability in there. Okay, so we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. Okay, let's go. So put the engines into flight mode, put the guards on. Just watching here, making sure we don't do anything before our... Okay, so we're not in idle mode anymore. I've got the MFD here in hover mode, which is quite useful for this. Let's get ourselves in a better position. Right, now to start the mission we're going to use this pad here, which is pretty cool, and we're going to use the Seattle car crash mission 1. So right now we've got someone waiting for us. This is telling us what to do. It's telling us to fly to the accident scene, and the accident scene is marked on the map. So let's get going. Okay, everybody ready? Yeah, they look so enthusiastic. They've heard about my flying, obviously. Okay. Getting ready with the pedals. I'm not going to do a full hover taxi maneuver because we are in an emergency situation. Don't want to be too dramatic, ladies and gentlemen, but lives are at stake here, so we're going to dispense with the niceties of giving air traffic control a nice hover taxi, and we're just going to get to the casualty, get the right priorities, and get them to hospital. Now, I absolutely love flying this helicopter. I don't do it as much as I should do, and it is, as I was saying before, something that I want to get to grips with and learn more about. It is incredibly detailed. There's real H145 helicopter pilots using it. It's just waiting to be grabbed. And the nice thing about this pack is it gives you a good reason to use it as well. And one of the things I noticed was that, and I know you probably won't believe it doing this, but when I was flying it in VR, I actually found it's a great way of practicing your hovering, because it gives you a reason to hover, which it sounds pretty obvious, but it really does. I recently watched a video by the YouTuber Helisimmer, who you probably all have heard of, very well known. Really nice guy, fantastic inspirational video, which was all about kind of, you know, the initial elements of getting into helicopter flying in the sim, and it was quite incredible, and it really made me want to learn to fly these properly, and I've not had the time recently because of other things that we've had on the boil, but it's something that I want to do. So as you can see, it's we've now got a little cross come up with a dot on it, which is telling us where our poor unfortunate is, and I know he's over there because I can see the smoke, so I'm just going to bring it round. And before we get too close, I'm going to pop the screen onto the right mode, which is the autopilot mode. There we go. Now, ridiculously high. Already the crew in the back are tutting their heads off. What is this guy doing? Flying so high that he can hardly see what's going on. Boys, do not worry. There is method to my madness. That's what I'm trying to tell them, but I don't think they're convinced. So there's the smoke over there. Let's just back it up a little bit and come over. There we go. So that's what we're aiming for. Trying to get the helicopter in that area. I'll get us a little closer and then I'll put the hover assist in. Yeah, don't worry, professional at work. Okay, let's very quickly. This is the worst thing about having to do where I've got my control set up is letting go of the stick to use the mouse to go onto the iPad, which is something that I need to set up my controls somehow. So I'm now using the hat switch just to reposition the aircraft. Okay, we're down. So at this point we'll quickly go to the map, and then that will tell us what we're doing. So it's we have landed at the accident scene and we're waiting for crew operations. Now the reason why we are waiting for crew operations, or not waiting for crew operations, because I haven't put the engines into idle. There we go. So now that should change to wait for crew operations. Now in the real thing at this point you will almost certainly see some kind of animation. As this is the preview version, we haven't got that yet. So we're just waiting for that now to change to transport the patient to the hospital. So yeah, really important point to say again is that this is a preview version, this is a pre-release version, so there are things that are going to be different, things that will be added, things that will change in the real thing. So just waiting for that wait for crew operations to change to transport the patient. There we go. Right, ready to go. Blue lights on, fellas. Wait for the engines to come out of idle. There we go. Okay, now the assist I think disengages now that we've landed, so I'm going to hand fly it out. Let's try and get a bit more control. Watching the wires there. Wires and helicopters do not mix. And we will just go over the stadium. So yeah, we're off to the hospital now with our patient. How are we feeling in the back? Everything good? Yeah, okay. Yeah, they look okay. I think they're probably more worried about my flying than the patient. Okay, now there is the hospital. Let's slow it up a little bit. Not a great approach. We need to back her up, I think, because I have a feeling we're going to be over the... Yeah, there it is. It is quite handy having that hover instrumentation on the instrument panel there, because it does give you a better idea of what you're doing, and actually in a way kind of almost helps make up for the fact that you know, for example in VR you've got much better situational awareness about what the aircraft is actually doing, and that does give an assist, a visual cue. Rough there with the old collective. Okay. Are we off on the edge there, boys? Would you mind just having a look for me? Oh, yeah, it's a bit close. It's a bit close. Let's just inky it forward a bit. Be a bit embarrassing to transport the patient all the way here and then only just to drop him off the edge of the helipad, wouldn't it? So let's just bring it forward. Bring him a bit closer to the ambulance. Meanwhile, the ambulance crew are thinking, geez, do you know, it would have been easy just to have driven there and got the guy ourselves, rather than leaving it to this pilot. Okay, let's chop the engines back into idle. Pop outside. There he is, the loadie has now opened the doors, getting some fresh air, thinking, this guy needs to get fired. Whoever he is, he did not finish school. He did not finish his pilot training. Get rid of him. Patient's coming out the back thinking, whoa, this is an incentive to never have a car accident again if this guy is going to come and collect me. There we go, loading that back in. So we'll keep an eye here. It's saying wait for crew to... there we go, that's gone now. So that is effectively mission complete. Boys, how do you think that went? Any feedback for the pilot? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't think that went too well. Okay, so that was kind of the pre-scripted mission here in Seattle. What we're going to do now is head to the Scottish Highlands and we're going to do some winching practice. Right, here we are in the Highlands of Scotland, in the Caingorms National Park, which just happens to be one of my favourite places in the world, and if you watch this channel then you're probably bored of me talking about it. We are here at Feshy Bridge, otherwise known as Caingorms Gliding Club. We're going to use the mission menu here to, when we get there, select hoist operations anywhere. Are we all ready to go in the back, boys? We are in Scotland. They just don't seem to be that enthusiastic about going flying with me again. But not to worry. Right, let's just quickly reset the track IR. There we go. Better position. Quick look around. Everything's tickety-boo. Not too worried about using the GTN 750s because we've got a moving map here. And we kind of know where we're going. Well, hopefully. We're not going far. Everything's looking good. Okay, let's go. Oh, quick check over here. Yes, we are. I'll let you into a little secret. I have already recorded this bit, but I forgot to press record on the video. Yeah. So I was just checking I'd got everything recording properly again. Speed up. Now, I know that there are people watching this who are, really good at flying these and have got the experience of flying these. So I hope it's not too irritating watching this complete rookie do it. But it is really good fun, and I really will be. I've done a couple of videos with this helicopter already, but I will be doing more. It really is just great fun, and as I was saying, in VR, round here in VR, I was noticing things that you don't necessarily pick up so much on when you're flying like this in kind of 2D mode, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. There is Loch Annarin, a little castle on the island. I could bore you for hours flying around here, but I won't. So here we go. If you know the area at all, this may be of interest. We're going to fly to Loch Morlich first, just as a kind of a starting point, and then we'll head up into the hills. I must not do any accents, must not do any accents. Here we go. So if you know Loch Morlich, here it is. There's the sailing club down there. Then we have the hut on the beach, which is the where all the water sports are, and the cafe and that sort of thing. Then more campsite over there. Oh, what? You want me to show you Green Loch? Okay. Rob, aren't we meant to be rescuing people? Yep, I know. I love it up here. Steady there, don't over talk it. There's Green Loch down there. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you're thinking, will you just get on with the rescuing? So, let's go over to Caingorms Visitor Centre first. That's going to be our first kind of port of call. Have more off there in the distance. Did I tell you I love it up here? I did. Okay. Just resetting the track IR again. I think one of the other things that I love about doing this kind of practice flying here is you can probably see it's a lot smoother over in Seattle because of my absolutely ridiculously bad internet connection. It was struggling a little bit, but over here it's great. So there we have Caingorms Visitor Centre there. And up at the top there you can see the ptarmigan cafe. Right, let's get rescuing people. I was enjoying flying around too much. Yep, steady on there, don't over talk it. So what I want to do is just come up here and just come into this quarry just ahead, and we're going to commence our practicing. And I'm giving myself a bit of a challenge here. I can't promise you it's going to work, but at least it'll give you an idea of what we're trying to achieve. Do need to back out a little bit. Because I have overcooked it a tad. How are we looking? Carried away with ourselves. I have to say, as much as I lack the skills at the moment, look at that beautiful little thing down there. As much as I lack the skills at the moment, I do actually prefer hand flying hovering. I think it's just at the moment, that's what I like doing. There we go. Okay, now let's... I'm trying to get over to the flatter piece over here just to make it a little bit easier. One of the things that's a little bit distracting, which I found in VR as well, is that of course you're not getting a horizon cue from the ground because of where we are. So I'm having to use the hover instrument a little bit more. And right, this is kind of where I want to be. Okay, now I've got to do this really quickly. Mission menu, come on, come on, come on. There we go. And let the guy out. if I back up, hopefully we've got a wee man on the ground. No. No, you haven't. Because you did something wrong. So let's come over here. Let's try and get back into a stable flight again. Okay, and there we go. Sorry, I can't show you as much as I'd like to that because I do need to fly the helicopter as well. Okay, right, we dropped him off. Tell you what, doesn't half make you concentrate. He's now saying, for God's sake, get us a new pilot. Let's just, we'll just pull away a little bit and then you'll be able to see him. Where the hell did he go? He's not still hanging on, is he? Has anyone seen the fella that we just dropped off? He's over here somewhere, but I can't see him. Okay, while we're waiting, one thing I did say that I was going to show you was the Searchlight. So let's, by the magic of the sim, change it to night. It's just after 3 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see up here in the Caingorms, it's very, very dark. There's not much to look at. So if I've got my controller set up correctly, hopefully this will work. There we go. We've got our Searchlight. See us being able to move it around backwards and forwards and left and right, and then that's right below us there. Of course, because we are pointing towards nothingness, you can't see a great deal, but if I actually just rotate the aircraft around a little bit to point further up towards the edge, let's just jump back into the cockpit. There we go. You can see a little bit more going on. So you imagine doing this on a cold winter's night, searching for your casualty, trying to find them. I'm sure with the other packs there will be even more applications for it. So there you go. Maybe we dropped him off a bit further away. Oh, there he is. There he is. Wow. Very well hidden. I wish I could have captured what he looked like on the ground. Basically, he's kind of working on the patient, and then you know when he's ready because he will stand up like he is there. And of course we've got the indicator as well saying hover, hoist up the crew and patient. So let's come down, come in and get him.
100 feet.
And as we get closer, the crew will open the door. The winchman will open the door and hoist him up, lower the winch, get him in. Conscious that oh yeah, totally screwed that one up. Okay, let's come back in. Really shouldn't be doing outside views when I'm meant to be flying. There he goes. Done. Free flight. So we completed that. So that kind of gives you a flavour of what you can do. Obviously, you could probably do it a lot better. But practice makes perfect, and that's something that I intend to be doing an awful lot of, just to get to grips with that. But the nice thing about that hoist anywhere mode is that you can literally do what I've done, which is go to an area that I know and do some hoisting practice. And as I say, it's a really good way of testing or practicing your hovering, because you really do have to hold it. Very interesting. So yeah, what can I say? I think, speaking personally here, I bought this, and I did buy this aircraft, the base aircraft, because I wanted to learn to fly helicopters in this simulator. And this is, I bought it because this is one of the ones that I had heard was very realistic. And with this pack now, you've got a reason to fly it, and a reason to do lots of different activities. And you know, I really cannot wait to see what's in the completed add-on or the completed expansion pack, because I think there's going to be some really interesting things in there. Anyway, I hope you've don't worry, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm not an expert helicopter pilot, as you already know. I'm sure that some of you watching this will be, so I hope it wasn't too painful. But all I wanted to do really was give you an idea of what this expansion pack is all about, or at least a small flavour of it. So, thanks for coming along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon.